Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I'm going to talk to you about the Baker Act and the medical clearance part of this whole process. So we had a call from somebody. They have a loved one, a family member who is in the hospital with medical issues, and apparently the staff have been restraining this individual, and the family has been told that he's not free to leave, but he's not Baker Acted. And I said, look, if it walks like a duck and quacks, it's probably a duck, right? And what I mean by that is if he's being told he's not free to leave, if he's being physically restrained, that's, to me, sounds like he's been Baker Acted. And the staff can tell you whatever they want. As far as I'm concerned, he has been detained, okay? And he's not free to leave. So either he's been Baker Acted or he's been falsely imprisoned, which is a crime. My instincts tell me, based on what I've heard about the case from my intake staff, is that he has been Baker Acted and he is not free to leave. Because if I go to the hospital, hypothetically, God forbid, right? Or you go to the hospital and you say, you know what, I'm having chest pains, and they examine you and they say, hey, you need to have a procedure. We need to put something in here to unblock your heart. And I say, no, I don't care. I'm not letting you put me under anesthetic. I'm not letting you stick something in my heart. I'm going to go home. I'm just going to go home and I'm going to take 2 aspirin. And they say, well, if you do that, there's a very good chance that when you get home, some point this evening, you're going to have a heart attack and drop dead. You know what? That's my decision. I decided I don't want medical care. I'm willing to go home and take the risk. Guess what? I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to do that. This is my body. I get to decide. But if they physically restrain me, one of two things are happening here. Either they are Baker Acting me, and it doesn't sound to me like, based on the facts I just gave you, that would be appropriate. But let's say they restrain me. They say, no, we're not doing it. 4 security guards run in. They pick me up, put me on the ground, and hog tie me. Probably not a good idea if I'm having a heart attack, but you get the idea here. They're physically restraining me. The only legal authority they have to do that is if they're Baker Acting me. Otherwise, I'm falsely imprisoned. I have an absolute right to refuse medical care. It's my body. I get to decide if you stick me under anesthetic or if you stick something in my heart, okay? But it sounds to me like in this case, despite what the hospital is telling the family, that their loved one actually has been Baker Acted. Otherwise, I want to know why this person is being restrained, strapped to a bed, told he cannot leave. Something isn't right here. If he has been Baker Acted, even though no one has said he's been Baker Acted, what that means is that while he is pending medical clearance, the 72-hour clock that you would associate with an involuntary Baker Act, and remember there's 2 types here in Florida, involuntary and voluntary, and it sounds like without question an involuntary Baker Act. If he is pending medical clearance, the 72-hour clock has not started to tick. Now, once somebody notes in his medical file that he is now cleared medically, the facility then has 12 hours to either put him in a behavioral health unit, if it's a hospital that has one, or they have to transfer him to a Baker Act receiving facility. And at that point, once he's either in the behavioral health unit or he's in a Baker Act facility, at that point, the clock starts to tick, the 72-hour clock for the involuntary detention. Not voluntary, but involuntary. And so I want to clear that up with you, because sometimes families are told, oh, they're not Baker Acted. Really? Well, then why is he being restrained? If it looks like a duck and quacks, I don't care if they tell you it's not a duck. It's quacking. It's walking like a duck. It's a Baker Act, okay? And so if you are a family experiencing that and they say, oh, they're not Baker Acted, but they're not free to leave, well, either they're being falsely imprisoned, which is a crime, or they're Baker Acted. And we should definitely have a conversation about that. So I appreciate you tuning in. Please give me the thumbs up on this one. And if you could subscribe to the channel, I'd be grateful. Thank you. Bye-bye.